Welcome, guys, back to Relax Radio with your favorite host, Afra Hossin, where we talk about beauty, health, trending hacks, and what's happening right now. So, I want you to sit back, relax, and listen to some beauty trends and hacks. So, hello again, and welcome back to Beauty and Trends. And as you all know, I do my show every single Tuesday from 5 till 6 p.m. And we share all the secrets to, eternal beauty, health, amazing skin, how to take care of your hair, and makeup tips and tricks. So, starting off the show, we're already into March, and I feel like time is going really quickly. I feel like just last week we celebrated 2021, so time has gone really quick. And yeah, welcome March, I guess. And regarding March, I wanted to say that, another winter draws to an end and it's time to pat yourself in the back. We made it. And as the days get longer now and the temperatures increases, there's plenty of sunshine to enjoy. Whether it's a run in the park in the sunshine, or, just chilling in your back garden. But yeah, we are basically starting off. For me, it's like spring slash summer, depending on how hot the temperature goes or how hot the UK is. But normally UK is very cold in this time. The past week it has been really freezing cold, but I need to put again my winter coat on. But then some days it's super hot where I just can't wear a coat anymore. So it's having that type of mood swings again as we enter March. But yeah, still that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, it's a good thing. Finally we can say, winter has gone away. We don't have to worry about winter. We just have to look ahead for the summer, and hopefully by then lockdown will finish, because majority of people are getting vaccinated. So if you haven't got vaccinated yet, make sure to do so if you feel like you need to. Again, it's not compulsory, but it's just as a precaution. So if you do in the future get COVID, it will be easier for you to get healthier. It will be easier to battle it out. So yeah, make sure to get your vaccines. And yeah, I hope lockdown finishes really soon. I hope everything goes back to normal, so we can just start off this 2021 year with a bang, basically. As usual, I want to start off the show by giving you guys a motivational quote and an inspirational story. The first motivational quote I want to give you guys is actually a Chinese proverb, and it is: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So this is a Chinese proverb. It basically means that it's never late to do the thing you wanted to do, but thought it was too late. Because honestly, so many people come to me all the time, or I hear from so many people, to be honest, that are around 30 to 40 years old, and they say, if only I was younger, I could have done this, or if only I was younger, I would be able to do this. And it drives me so crazy inside, that because I want to shout at them and let them know that it's not too late. You can still, I guess, do the thing you wanted to do. So yeah, that's basically what the Chinese proverb is trying to say. So it is: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So if you want to do something which you thought, maybe it's a bit too late for, you should do it. And it's never too late, especially with people that are, studying education wise. When I was 18, I went to university and I studied biochemistry. And in my course, I have seen so many, like, people that are older than me. Like, majority of people were not 18 when I started. Majority of people in my lecture were like 20, 21. So just by looking at them makes me feel like, yeah, it's not too late to do anything. Especially if you're studying something and then suddenly you think, or your heart changes and says to you, and you realize that, this is not the thing you want to study in the future, or this is not the thing you want to do in the future. And then you just change your, course, and it's for me when I was 18, I thought, why would you do that? You went through all the effort to, study biochemistry, get into this course, and then suddenly, because it's too hard, or maybe because you don't feel like it, you want to change it. I never used to understand why people did that, but now, coming to this age, I understand that, there are some people that change the courses because their heart just tells them to change, or the heart feels like, they might be better at something else. So for me, now I understand that it's never too late to do anything. And yeah, so I that's the reason why I wanted to choose this inspirational quote, because it helps me understand, and make sure to tell me and it helps me to relay the message that if you want to do something and you never got the chance to do it now, because it's never too late. I still see some people, especially boys that are like 18 and over, that are still playing games. And we used to regard playing games for, it's for children, it's for children to play with, and it's a thing for children to do. But it doesn't matter what age you are. If it's in your heart, if it's something you want to do, then you should do it, because you only live once. So don't regret it. Make sure you do everything possible. You I can't even speak anymore. Just make sure you do everything you wanted to do in your life, and then do it regardless of what other people say. And then the next thing I wanted to share with you guys was a motivational story. And this motivational story was to do with a butterfly, a particular butterfly, which a man found. But before I continue on the motivational story, I'm going to go shortly to a break. So make sure to keep on tuning in, because I have more makeup tips and some hacks, DIYs that you can do at home to share with you guys during the show. So keep on listening, and I'll be back shortly after the break.
Relax Radio. Relax Radio.
Welcome back to Relax Radio. You're listening to Beauty and Trends with Afra, Hossin. Just before the break, I was talking about how March has come, and that means it's the end of winter finally, because I was getting sick of it being cold every single day. So, welcome, March, and I shared with you guys one inspirational quote, which was actually a Chinese proverb, which was the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So if you thought, that you wanted to do something that when you were young, it doesn't mean that you can't still do it. It means you still have the time to do it, and it's never too late to do anything you don't want to do. And then the next thing I wanted to share with you guys was a motivational story. And this motivational story is about a particular butterfly. So it's called the butterfly struggles. So, one day, a man found a cocoon of a butterfly. One day, a small opening appeared in that cocoon, basically. He sat and watched the butterfly for several hours as it struggled to force its body through that little hole until it suddenly stopped making any progress and looked like it was stuck. So imagine, if you don't know what a cocoon is, before a butterfly, I guess, is born, it's actually a caterpillar. And what happens is the caterpillar, when it is time for it to transform to a butterfly, forms itself a cocoon, like a round type of shape, like a not like a beehive, but like a tiny thing that it wraps around itself, where it transforms into a butterfly, and then it pops out of the cocoon, and then it flies away. So that's how a butterfly works, is created, I guess. So this man one day was walking around the park and found a cocoon of a butterfly and saw that it had a small opening which appeared. He watched the butterfly for several hours as it struggled to force its body through that little hole. So the butterfly was trying to come out of that hole, and then it suddenly just stopped making any progress. So as it was coming out of the hole, it just stopped. It just didn't make any progress. And he thought that it looked like the butterfly was stuck. So what the man did next was he decided to help the butterfly by taking a pair of scissors and snipping off the remaining cocoon. And then the butterfly emerged easily, although it had a swollen body and a small shriveled wings. The man didn't think anything of it and sat there waiting for the wings to enlarge to support the butterfly, but that never happened. The butterfly spent the rest of its life unable to fly, crawling around with tiny wings and a swollen body. If you don't know, there's a reason why butterflies have to force themselves to come out of cocoon, and it's because when it tries to come out of the cocoon, it has to do that in order to force fluid from the body of the butterfly into its wings. So, despite the kind heart of the man, which he thought, he was being kind, trying to help out the butterfly, he didn't understand that the restricting cocoon and the struggle needed by the butterfly to get itself through the small opening was God's way of forcing fluid from the body of the butterfly into its wing to prepare itself for flying once it was out of the cocoon. So this is like a natural process that God made, and the man did not know before about it. So the moral of the story basically is that our struggles in life develop our strengths, and without struggles we never grow and never get stronger. So it's important for us to tackle challenges on our own and not be relying on help from others. And it's important to do that because if like even like even throughout my daily life, I always see that if I do a mistake, I make sure I don't do that mistake again. Like, I learn from my mistakes, and I have for me to do that mistake means I struggled to do something. And yeah, so we always need to struggle and work hard to achieve the greatest, because sometimes the easy way out is not always the best way and can sometimes end up being the worst down the line. So be always careful whenever you do something, especially when it comes to choosing something. When you've been given two stones, that, one will lead you to this future, one will lead you to another future, and you take the easy way out might not always be the best way, because you need to struggle and work hard in order to form the dream world you always wanted in the future. So sometimes if opportunity does come your way and you think it's a bit too, what do you call it, it's a bit too easy to come by, or it's, just, there's a phrase that I forget. It's like something too good to be true. Then it probably is too good to be true, and it's better to decline it. And yeah, so that's the moral of the story. And I really like the story of the butterfly, because I, while researching and while learning, reading through the story, even I learned something myself, that how butterflies are basically, how butterflies evolve from a caterpillar, and how they come out, and how, what makes them fly. So yeah, it's interesting. And butterfly is part of beauty, so why not share it with you guys? Before I continue on, I wanted to talk about dry skin and what's the best makeup products for dry skin, because last week I talked about the best makeup products for oily skin, especially since majority of the population have oily skin. But if you're like me, I have combination skin, so I have mostly normal, but then on winter days it's much more dry. So if you're like me and you have dry skin, especially during winter, um, of course oily products or oily makeup products will not suit you. So that's why I want to share with you guys some makeup products that will suit dry skin. Before I talk about the foundations and the best makeup products for dry skin, I wanted to share with you guys a really, really cute poem about makeup, because it's really, really kind of makes me emphasize um, with the person who wrote this poem about themselves. And I feel like most girls who do wear makeup will emphasize as well. So um, the makeup, the poem I got was from a website, and it's called Makeup Make Down, as in make up, make down. That's the poetry name, and it goes like this: I wear makeup to work so people treat me better. I work with fish, I get covered in slime, I don't make tips. Not that that is acceptable. I have a fiance, I'm off market, and I'm not there to impress anyone. No makeup, I'm ignored. My credentials are questioned more. They pick fights, they behave poorly. With makeup law, I only have to deal with one creepy person. I wear makeup to work, so people treat me better. This was written by an anonymous person, and I wanted to share with you guys, because I kind of like relate to this, especially since I'm 21 and I have more of a baby face, which is, I feel like it's no secret, you can tell. And I used to do that as well. Whenever I used to like work in, like, used to go for jobs or look for jobs, people used to be like, are you of age to work? Are you 18 or not? Because especially without makeup, they used to think I was really young. And only when I showed them like my ID, they used to believe me. And they also said that that's not the only reason why, because people are scared to put girls like me during shifts that are at nighttime, because of course it's always dangerous and people get to have more drunk customers or like those type of like clients. So that's why this is what I kind of emphasize with, because sometimes if you wear makeup, it first of all makes you help look mature, and secondly people treat you differently. And yeah, I've also seen this during my work. So whenever I go work, and some drivers that come into the shop also have had that type of experience. So yeah, it's really interesting, which is why I wanted to share with you guys. Just before I continue on, Monjurul said hi, and Samachuri said assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. Welcome to the show. Samad Chaudhary said, "What is the harm of coloring the hair?" So hair, if you did not know, is acidic in pH. pH, it means it's like about a 4 or 4 3-ish pH. So if your hair is acidic, we use to color hair, we use bleach basically to color your hair, to make dark hair lighter and blonder. So that means we're using an alkaline pH about 8 9-ish, and that pH is very strong pH, which goes against the pH of your hair. And that's why people say there's harm of coloring your hair, because you're making your hair un like you're making a pH imbalance on your scalp, and that affects the scalp really badly. And if you constantly bleach your hair, you're inflaming your scalp. Bleaching means coloring your hair. So when you constantly color your hair, you're inflaming your scalp. So that can cause scalp inflammation. Your scalp will start to burn, and if you don't treat it properly, it will become more dry and it will be very frizzy, and you will lose a lot of hair. So that's the harm of coloring the hair. But in salons, especially expensive salons, you can use lots of products from they use products from Olaplex that have that make products to prevent any effects that bleach or coloring does to hair, which is why you will see, especially in big salons or more expensive salons, whenever they color your hair, they will put lots of products. They will use Olaplex bond maintenance shampoo, bond maintenance conditioner. They will use lots of oil, mineral oil. They will also use lots of bondings and perfectors, and all of this. They use the products during your coloring session, your hair coloring sessions, in order to make sure the scalp doesn't get affected. So there is harm of coloring hair, but there are products that lots of makeup companies made in order to make sure to prevent the harm on your hair. And if you use those products, the harm of coloring hair becomes very, very small, and it will make your hair much more stronger at the same time, which is why these salons use these products. So they don't only color your hair and then wash it. They will color your hair, use these products to make sure the hair bonds are strong, and make sure that your hair doesn't fall easily from your scalp. So that's basically a counteractive to coloring hair. I hope that helped. Before I continue on, I will be back shortly after the break. So make sure you keep on listening and tuning in. And I have more great makeup tips, hair tips, and DIYs to share with you guys. And feel free to comment down below if you want to know more about any skincare issues, hair issues, makeup issues, any tips or tricks you want to share that you have. Make sure to let me know in the comments, and I will answer them right after this break. So I'll be back shortly after the break. Keep on tuning in. Welcome back to Beauty and Trends. You're listening to Relax Radio with Afra Hossin. Just before the break, I was talking about the harm of coloring hair. Another question was said, which is some cosmetic business girls use various cosmetic during their life, and they say it's unuseful. It depends on what products you're talking about, because the product company I'm mentioning, which is Olaplex, is a worldwide known product. All of the salons here use it because they prioritize customers, because there are lots of customers that complain about the damage they take from bleaching their hair, coloring their hair. So the salon has to make sure that the hair is strong and always looks much more silkier, and basically they want the hair to look healthy after bleaching and coloring their hair, which is why they have to use certain products. And the product company I'm talking about is called Olaplex, and they have to use a thing called Olaplex Bond Multiplier. This product is a miracle worker, and there is scientific evidence to show that it works. And I've seen in my within like using my eyes as well that it works really well. And why you have to use this is it's to prevent the damaging effects of chemicals in bleach, which is why you have to use this thing called Olaplex Bond Multiplier. It will minimize the damage and repair during the bleaching and coloring process, and it will make the lighter lighter hair lifted much more higher without any damage. It tries to reconstruct the broken bonds to protect your strands from further damage. So when you color your hair and when you bleach your hair, um, if you see like the strands, what happens is they will start breaking the bonds, and it will make it much more less flexible, less elasticity, and it will just break off. And using the Olaplex Bond um, multiplier, what it will do is when you use the bleach and when you color the hair, using that product will make sure that the hair is strong and smooth, so it doesn't break apart when coloring your hair. So I can give you guarantee that the product I just said right now is definitely useful and it works 100%. And if you use this company's hair products or anything, it will always help to prevent the harm from coloring your hair. So I hope that answers the question. And I only know this because of course my mom is a hair salon owner, so she owns a hair salon and she uses products like this in also for her customers when she gets hair coloring clients. So and that's how I know. And she also studied it for 3 years. Yeah. Talking about hair coloring and products, I also wanted to share with you guys the best product for dry skin. And the best product for dry skin is obviously starting off with primer. The best one, which is a super drug version, is L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow Lock Makeup Primer. And what primers do is that it will help make your dull appearance, especially if you have dry skin. It will make it more illuminating and will give you that radiant, healthy glow. So it's basically trying to give you that Korean glass skin type of vibe. And then after using a primer, you need to use a liquid foundation. If you use matte foundation, it will definitely make your dry skin worse. And for me, I've seen that foundation like Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation works really well, because not only did it win in the competition in lab testing, because they did lab testing for the best foundation, but also has a perfect score for the smoothest texture that goes on to your skin like velvet. So it's really amazing, and it's very blendable, easily blendable, and it provides that smooth nearly undetectable coverage. So you can basically cover up any redness, any dullness, any discoloration, acne, using Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and it will look like you don't even use foundation. So it's that good, and it's really especially good for dry skin. It gives you a medium coverage and a very silky finish. Like, so many people are using Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and it's super super amazing, especially if you have dry skin. And another thing after foundation is, of course, you need to use like, you can use liquid concealers instead of matte concealers, using a cream blush instead of powdered blush, and a cream concealer instead of a powdered concealer will help dry skin people that have dry skin maintain hydration during the day as well, because you're adding a whole layer of makeup on your face and you want your skin to be able to breathe and not block your pores and make your skin much more drier again because you're not hydrating yourself. So yeah, which is why it's important to you substitute your makeup. That's what I try to do as well. During winter, I will try to go for cream blushes, and if you don't have a cream blush, what I do is I use my favorite lip balm color, like a pinkish, and I will just add it to my cheeks and just blend it in using my hands, and it will help make my cheek look more pinkish. um, and with contour, although I don't like using cream contour, what I will do is, if I have those stick foundations, I use a darker color stick foundation to contour and give myself more of a natural type of look. So that's what I do when I have dry skin. And for eyeshadow, there are cream eyeshadows, but I still prefer using powdered eyeshadow just before, like, for dry skin. If you are gonna use eyeshadow with powder and you have very very severe dry skin, using a eye primer will work really really well. It will give you moisturization, plus it will be a perfect base for powdered eyeshadows. And of course, instead of matte lipsticks, go for the lip gloss or for liquid lipsticks, which will help make sure your lips are not dry and crusty. And then again, to end of the makeup, use a very hydrating makeup spray. Of course, MAC makeup spray, fixing spray is the best, so I would suggest nothing other than that. And just to tell you guys about the product, um, the products that I recommend for the drugstore products, so it's cheaper. Primer, L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow Lock Makeup Primer. And then for the liquid foundation, Giorgio Armani. For the high end and Superdrug, you can use Maybelline, which is my favorite one, or you can use L'Oreal Paris Infallible Up to 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. For liquid concealer, if you don't want it to be too strong, I suggest LA Pro Girl, the best one for dry skin and the best one to set for your underneath your eye bags. Cream blush, with me, I use any type of lip balm or lipstick color, like liquid lipstick, and I will just use it. And if you want to buy a cream blush, you can use the L'Oreal Longwear Blush Shaping Sticks. And for cream contour, I will suggest using I know it's readily available everywhere, so the Kryolan TV stick, or you can use Huda Beauty's new as well stick foundation, because it's very sheer, so it will be really good for contouring. And of course, lip gloss, my favorite company to buy lip gloss from is Too Faced. Another question that came was the Astral facial cream made in the UK. Is it halal? Um, question for the answer for that is it is halal. Only because I think the Astral cream is suitable for vegetarian, which means it doesn't contain any products that's used for used from what do you call it? Used from animals. So yeah. Um, and it's also cruelty free, but it's halal as well. Yeah. Tomato melt, is it used for face? Yeah, I've heard about that. I personally haven't used it, but I've heard. I've seen some hair facial masks while researching. They use tomato melt for brightness. Talking about brightness, I've heard about this, and um I don't know if it works. Some people say it works, but for me, what works for brightening your skin is definitely using lemon. And what you can do, if I tell you the DIY mask, is 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of honey, and then 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So just in a container, mix them all together evenly, and then if you apply it on your skin, and then just wait for a minute, and then let the mixture sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and then wash it off with warm water, not too hot, like lukewarm water, and then just rinse it off, and then hydrate, moisturize your face. That helps for brightening. So I know that's the best for brightening your skin. So I've heard about tomato melt, but I feel like it's not as effective as using lemon juice, honey, and baking soda. That DIY face mask is the best for brightening skin, and it's the face mask I use as well to brighten my skin. Every time I get suntan, or if I have any discoloration, I will use this face mask to brighten my skin and even out the color. Just before I go on talking about more about DIYs and makeup products, I'll be taking a short break, but keep on tuning in and do write down questions, and I will answer them right after the break. Don't go anywhere, I will be back.
Oh, relax radio.
Welcome back to Relax Radio with your host Afra Hossin. You're listening to Beauty and Trends. Sit back, relax, and listen to some beauty trends and hacks. Just before the break, I was talking about lightening skin, and Summer Choudhury said, does tomato melt help for brightening skin? I've seen some people use it in the ingredients, but for me, the most effective mask was using 1 tablespoon of honey, no, 2 teaspoons of honey, 2 teaspoons of baking powder or baking soda, and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. For instant brightening skin, or I use my usual DIY face mask, which consists of rice flour, turmeric powder. If you have original turmeric, it will be better, but I use rice flour, turmeric powder because we can't find turmeric here, and I will use milk and then honey, and then mix it all together. And I will apply that face mask on my face, and it will help get rid of my suntan really, really well and really, really quickly, instantly effect. Yeah. Just before break, I was also talking about the best products for dry skin, in like by products I mean makeup products for dry skin. And with makeup, you also need to make sure that if you have dry skin, you always use good skincare products to make sure you maintain your skin to make it more hydrating, which will make your makeup go on your fit well on your face, and it will make sure that your skin is also being hydrated during throughout the day. I don't know where my speech is going, but yeah, so it will make sure that your skin is hydrated throughout the day as well. And one way you can do is you can use mists for your skin, or you can use essence. One mist I suggest is using the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, and it's expensive on the price, but it's effective. It's a very effective product. Or you can use a heavy duty moisturizer by Glossier, which is a priming moisturizer, but it's very, very rich. And if you use this moisturizer as your first base before makeup, it will make sure that throughout the day your face won't go cakey, and it won't, you won't have cracks throughout the makeup, and it will make sure that your makeup is set nicely and very smooth. Another product I also mentioned just before break was foundations. And for me, the best foundation is Giorgio Armani Silk, or its drugstore version, which is the Maybelline foundation, not the matte one. The original satin foundation by Maybelline will be the best one for dry skin. And it has a medium coverage as well. And yeah, so that's the best product for dry skin. And again, if you don't, make sure to use, primer, moisturizers, and illuminators before you put foundation on, to make sure that your skin is plump and ready and hydrated before you put your makeup on, because that will make your makeup so much better. Like, you can see the drastic difference between someone who wore makeup without using primers, illuminators, and someone who wore makeup with good moisturizer, with a good primer, and with a good illuminator. So these are all important. Cucumber is direct. Sama Choudhury said, cucumber is direct use in face for pimples. How much effective? Cucumber for direct use for pimples is not effective at all. Cucumber is made probably with 80 to 90% of water. So if you use water every single day, it will not fight acne, and it will not help get rid of pimples. Cucumber is used mostly for cooling effects, especially on the face, which is why you will normally see in a facial that they don't use cucumber anywhere except for your eyes, to make your eyes cool and cold. So it gives you that nice type of cold feeling and soothing feeling. But it's not really good for pimples. For pimples, aloe vera gel is much more effective than cucumber. And what I prefer is using salt-based product like rock salt, sea salt, so much more better than cucumber. I hope that answered the question. Um, the next thing I want to talk about was with dry skin. The best makeup product for dry skin is La Mer Eye Concentrate, and that's basically a moist primer for your eyes. If you use a eye primer, it will make your eyeshadow much more better, and it will make sure that during the day your the eye makeup won't break up, because sometimes I've seen that some people, when I go to weddings or parties, have beautiful eyeshadow on, but then you can see like crease lines, and that's probably because they didn't put any eye primer and they didn't have a good base for their eye makeup. Which is why I always recommend using La Mer Eye Concentrate. Another product that you should have is Charlotte Tilbury's Magic Cream as a moisturizer if you don't have any other good moisturizer. But I also recommended the Glossier priming moisturizer, which is more of a heavy duty moisturizer. So if your skin is super 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 dry, I always recommend using that. And then if you want to use a more lighter foundation, which I know people in Korea do, they always have that flawless natural look. They will go more of a for a sponge foundation. And by sponge, I mean it's like a liquid compact foundation, and it will have a sponge, and you just squeeze in the compact, and will have like liquid parts all over your sponge, and then you put it all over your face, and it will give that much more of a natural dewy look. So yeah, and one product that I recommend is using Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage, which is one of the best products. Carrots, how much effective for, as someone should asked, carrot, how much effective for brightness in direct use? So if you use raw carrots and put it straight onto your face for a mask, um, it what I know is that carrots make your skin much more glowing. So if you're meaning that you want brighter skin, as in glowing skin, carrot juice will help. And that's because carrot has a lot of beta carotene that will help prevent degeneration of cells. So especially when you for anti-aging, carrots will be are perfect to maintain your tissues, your eyes, bones, and teeth very healthily. So yeah, and carrots will not help you light help will help like even out your skin tone and make your skin just glow. And yeah, and you can use it with honey, and then you mix it together to make the mask more hydrating and much more uh, glowing after your face. um, I was talking about foundations, and the product I wanted to mention was Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage. It's similar to that sponge foundation, and it it will give you that much more natural and daily type of makeup look. And it's so small that you can carry it in your bag, which you can use at any time during the day just to top it up, or if you think your makeup is fading away. Another concealer you can use is by Armis Beauty Uncover Up Concealer, which looks like this. And it's a concealer for dry skin, and you can use it to top it up just underneath your eyes, anywhere you think needs some brightening or concealing. And again, it's super convenient enough to put in your bag because it's small, and it will help which you can touch up any time during the day. Another one I wanted to share with you guys was concealers. And I said using liquid concealers will be amazing. And there are like by liquid, I mean I said stick type of concealers. They're like cream based, but there are liquid concealers that are amazing. And that's by Wonder Beauty Dualist Matte and Illuminating Concealer, made specifically for dry skin to give that glowy look. Excuse me. But yeah, so I recommend that really, really, really well. And just before I continue on, someone Choudhury said, benefit of lemon, use in face, and when will use. So the lemon has lots of benefits, and the most important benefit for lemon is that the lemon, if you do not know, is vitamin C, and it's very acidic as well. So acidic, it's probably a pH 2. And I told you that our hair, scalp, skin is very acidic as well. So we also have an acidic skin, pH 4, 5 skin, not pH 4, like pH 5 skin, which is still on the acidic side. And using lemon helps your skin to become more brighter, and also makes our skin much more glowing, brightening, and it's very effective because it has tremendous benefits. One of them is that it has vitamin C, it has magnesium and potassium, and these three vitamin minerals basically improve the appearance of health in your skin, hair, and nails because they are antioxidants as well. They have antibacterial properties. Lemon has antibacterial properties, so it will kill any infections, any bacterial buildup on your skin. Make sure your skin is pure, super 100% clean, and it will help close your pores, make them smaller because of its antibacterial properties. It has alpha hydroxy acid, which is needed for skin rejuvenation. It can heal acne. It can lighten dark spots because of the citric acid, and it can also. It's been also used for whitening teeth as well by mixing with baking soda, and then that will help your teeth to become whiter as well. It has several benefits. Drinking it is really good for you. Using it as a hair mask, using it as a facial mask, using as it for or teeth brightening. You can use lemon pretty much anywhere because lemon is said to be the natural version of bleach. We use chemical bleach, hydrogen peroxide, but lemon is the natural version of bleach, which is why it's used for brightening in your skin. I use lemon using when I do my DIY face brightening mask. So with my turmeric, rice flour, and milk, I will add about 1 to 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and it will help my skin to become brighter. Sometimes what I do is, because my skin is not sensitive, if I during the day, if I tan myself during with the sun, I will go home and I will just get a lemon and just do a lemon scrub, and that helps get rid of my tan instantly and get rid of any burns on my skin or anything which is caused by the sun. Otherwise, I would not like recommend, especially if you have sensitive skin, to use lemon in any of your products because it's a very harsh product. It's basically the natural version of bleach. So if bleach is harmful, lemon is similar. So if you have sensitive skin, I definitely do not recommend using lemon in any of your DIYs products unless it's very diluted. um just before I finish up this show, I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope I answered the question really well. And yeah, I will be back again next week Tuesday from 5 till 6 p.m. UK time. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I will talk more about next week. I will talk about more about how you can make your skin much more softer, more baby skin, and make sure you how you can turn back time. Basically, if you ever have rough hands or if you have rough skin, how you can make them softer. And I will talk all about this next week Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. So keep on tuning in, and I will be back next week Tuesday 5 till 6 p.m. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I wish you guys a wonderful evening. Thank you for listening to Relax Radio.